Welcome to Sip with Summers, the podcast where we talk about sex, intimacy, and pleasure. Because someone has to, and let's be honest, it may as well be me. I'm your host, Jennifer Marie Summers, board certified sexologist, certified sex coach, menopause coach, and your favorite inappropriate friend with a microphone. Around here, we cover everything from why is my libido ghosting me to is it normal to fantasize about pizza during sex? Spoiler alert, yes. So grab a drink and let's get into the good stuff because pleasure is your birthright and awkward is my love language. Let's spill, sip, and say the things most people whisper. Welcome to the show. Hey, everybody. For those of you who are new to this show, I have a link on my website where you can ask me anything anonymously, and I come here and I answer those questions for you and the rest of our viewers. And this one is everybody's favorite segment, Questions for Couples. So let's get into it. This listener asked, why is sex a little painful when not using a condom or lube when we've always done it this way? The reason that sex can be painful without lubricant is that women lubricate to the point of arousal. So when you're fooling around, when you're having your foreplay, you may notice yourself beginning to get wet. However, it does not last the entire session of sex. And add to that, your partner's penis is porous, and without a condom, their penis is slowly absorbing your own natural moisture. You may not realize this during the act because there's a lot going on, but after sex, if you're feeling any type of aching, burning, discomfort, it can absolutely be due to a lack of lubrication. Also, as we age, we do lose some of our own natural moisture. As women move into perimenopause and estrogen drops, a lot of women can experience some vaginal dryness. Lubrication is a quick fix solution for more pleasure, more fun, and it's safer and better for your sexual health. For regular vaginal sex, I love a water-based lubricant for my clients. It's not sticky, it's safe when you're using condoms or toys. And I even carry some flavored versions in my store if you want to switch between penetration and oral sex. Our next listener asked for recommended reading to support one's journey in either getting more comfortable with intimacy, if they've had some trauma that may have fucked with them, or with building intimacy with a partner. So, two books come to mind with this question. The first is Come As You Are by Emily Nagoski. I feel that every woman should read this book. Nagowski has an art for articulating why and how a woman's sexuality works. Come As You Are breaks down the science of sex and why couples stop doing it. Nagowski does have another book called Come Together, which is for couples. I have it on my bookshelf, but I've not had a chance to read it yet. So start with Come As You Are. And then my other recommendation is Mating in Captivity by Esther Perel. I was so fortunate to be able to see Esther Perel speak about 10 years ago. And I've been following her work since then, and I love listening to her podcast. Where should we begin? In Mating in Captivity, Perel talks about true desire, including case studies. And the book's a great way to help you have more exciting sex now. Listeners, if you have any book recommendations, I would love for you to share that in the comments. Our next listener asks, on the rare few occasions that my partner or myself with a toy have hit the G-spot, my orgasms are memorable. Why is it so hard for me or my partner to hit that spot more frequently? This has to be one of the top 5 questions I get asked every week. And I am so here for it because the G-spot is such a pleasure destination. Some women report that with the G-spot orgasm, they have full body tremors. Some women experience squirting. But let's dive deep into what the G-spot really is. So the G-spot is not really a spot, but it's actually an area. The G spot is a spongy tissue inside the vagina, about 1 to 3 inches on the frontal wall, so pointing up toward the belly button. If you do a come hither motion, where you take two fingers, tilt up, and bring them toward you, that's the motion that really works best to stimulate that G spot manually. If you lick the roof of your mouth and you feel that ridged texture, that's what the G spot feels like. Now, go ahead and lick the inside of your cheek. Feel how soft it is. That's what the rest of the vagina feels like. And so you're specifically looking for that ridge texture, which feels similar to the roof of your mouth. The thing about the G spot, it's similar to the clitoris in that it needs time to warm up. You got to preheat that oven. Some women report it can take up to 10 minutes of manual stimulation to the G spot to have a G spot orgasm. Some women get fearful of the G spot orgasm because with the stimulation, because it's on the bottom of the bladder, you're pushing on the bladder, and many women feel the sensation of having to go to the bathroom. They may be afraid that they're going to pee on their partner. They might be afraid of the mess or the smell. Or they get stuck in their head and start overthinking how it feels, what's going to happen. And the ultimate roadblock is the fear of letting go. Toys do tend to make it easier to have a G-spot orgasm because with all of the vibration from a sex toy for the G-spot, it's creating direct pleasure to that area. It's more efficient than fingers or a penis. And it can even be a tool to help warm up that G-spot before sex. Many women are capable of having multiple G-spot orgasms. And the feedback I've received from my clients, as well as my own research, has shown me that once you have an orgasm, it becomes easier to keep the orgasm train going, to have multiples. So now that we understand a little better about how the G-spot works, let's talk about some tools that can really help you get over that hump. The first thing is that when your partner is massaging your G-spot with their finger, you're massaging your G-spot with your finger, or you're using a toy, is to pay attention when you're getting caught in your thoughts. If you think it's taking too long or you might make a mess, it's understandable that your body is going to hold you back from doing that. Or you're having those anxious thoughts about it taking too long. One of the best surefire ways to get back into your body when you're feeling stuck in your head is to focus on your breath. So mindfully breathing in, holding it, and breathing out. I really like the parasympathetic nervous system breathing technique. It helps regulate your nervous system and de-stress you. So that's where you breathe in for a 4 count, hold for 7 count, and then release audibly with an 8 count. Besides breathing, I have many sex toys in my online store that are designed for direct G-spot stimulation. Some women even find it's easier to have a G-spot orgasm while they're getting clitoris stimulation as well. So your partner could have their fingers inside massaging the G-spot while providing you oral stimulation to the clitoris, or you could use a toy on the clitoris. And I carry a GPS G-spot cream at my store as well. The GPS G-spot cream contains niacin and clove leaf oil, which creates a warming sensation to the G-spot. That warming sensation is creating more oxygen and more blood flow to the area. And that blood flow is causing that G-spot area to get more engorged, more excited. And many of my clients report that the GPS G-spot cream significantly cuts down on the time it takes to have those G-spot orgasms. Remember, most women need about 10 minutes of manual stimulation to the G-spot in order to have a G-spot orgasm. And with the GPS G-spot cream, it's warming up that area very quickly, like the express button on the microwave. Lastly, focus on the journey, not the destination. If we decenter orgasm as the goal and make the goal pleasure and connection, you may find you have better experiences because you're feeling less anxious about the destination. Our next listener asks, after not being together for a while, when my partner and I finally get together, I'm ready to go. I'm wet, I'm feeling it, but then I can't get off because I rush through foreplay. Then I get so self conscious that I can get so wet and feel it, but I can't orgasm. Part of that is being in my own head. Why? There's a couple things at play here. First of all, you said yourself, I can't get off because I rush through foreplay. My question is, what's going on that's making you want to rush through the foreplay? Do you have kids? Are you trying to just do it? What is preventing you from taking that time to enjoy that connection with your partner? The other thing you said is part of that is being in my own head. We talk about this a lot on this show. When we are stuck in our heads, we are not in our bodies. It's called spectatoring. And so think about it. You are having intimate moments with your partner, you're feeling good, and then you start to become a spectator to the event. You start thinking, am I too wet? Is this taking too long? Am I making a weird face? Are these noises strange? Oh no, I feel like I have to fart. Definitely been there. When we get caught up in our heads, ladies, it's so much harder to orgasm. My suggestions to you, listener, first of all, would be to try and slow down the foreplay. When I was in school getting my sex coaching certification, one of the optional readings talked about how Bolero's Ravel, which is a 16-minute classical music song, is the perfect time for foreplay. So check that out on Spotify or Apple Music and tell your partner, hey, I want to try this thing I heard about on a podcast. They said that until the song is over, we're doing foreplay. What do you think about that? Perhaps that might help you to know, hey, we have this 16 minutes carved out for foreplay. And I also feel like having the music on might be a little distraction with your brain to help you be more relaxed in your body. My other suggestion is that when you find yourself being in your head and spectatoring and focused on everything that's going on besides the pleasure part, is to focus on your breathing. Box breathing is where you breathe in for 4, you hold for 4, and then you breathe out for 4. So try that and let us know how it works for you. Our next listener says, I have a pretty low libido and my partner's is very high. What are some recommendations you have so we can meet in the middle in the intimacy department? First, I want to normalize that mismatched desire is a very common thing in relationships. That means that one partner wants it more than the other partner. Now get your pen and paper out because I have some suggestions. The first one is to determine how often would you like to be intimate every week? Pick a number. What feels good to you? And then have your partner do the same. So let's say that you would be really happy having intimacy once a week with your partner, and your partner would prefer if you had intimacy 4 times a week. That once a week session can be scheduled into your calendar. And yeah, I recognize that scheduling sex kind of sounds unsexy, but we make time for the things that matter for us. And excitement really can build when you have that to look forward to. Now, what about the other 3 days a week that your partner would like to be getting it on and you're not feeling it? Intimacy and sex are not synonymous. We can have outer sex, which looks like heavy petting, oral sex, making out like you're teenagers. It can look like sensual massage, focusing on non-genital areas such as the back, the legs, the arms, the scalp. It can look like holding hands and having deep and open conversation. It can look like whispering sweet nothings or dirty talk into their ear. But being intimately connected is not always about a penis and a vagina, if that's what you're into. Another thing to consider is if your partner's drive is higher than yours, sex toys can be a great teammate in the bedroom. So perhaps you snuggle up next to your partner as they play with their toy. You can give them a helping hand and use the toy to play with them. Or maybe you're not feeling that at all and you want to give them some privacy while you go do something else, like hang out with a friend, exercise, or do some self care. One of the most important things here is healthy communication. And so being able to determine the frequency of your intimate encounters with your partner, that's a great first step. And it can help lessen some of the guilt that you may feel. Our next listener asks, what is the best position when you want to get pregnant? The reality is, you can get pregnant in any position. But there are two positions that allow the penis to be deeper and closer to the cervix. So when they ejaculate, the sperm don't have as far to travel. And that's going to be missionary and doggy style. Another thing to consider is that when women orgasm and those muscles begin to constrict, it can suck the sperm into the cervix. So, using a toy on the clitoris during penetration or using a clitoris enhancement cream or gel, either or both of those things are going to create more blood flow, more oxygen, more sensitivity, and more pleasure. They're going to help you to experience a more powerful orgasm. And I think that that's the thing that's really going to help the most. Now, in a missionary position, something like a wand would work that you could slide between you and your partner, or your partner could use it on you. Doggy style, same thing, a wand or a bullet clitoris vibrator to reach around for direct clitoral stimulation. As far as clitoris enhancements, the AMP enhancement gel, that one is the most powerful. It has a cool tingly sensation. I affectionately refer to it as a quickie cream. Or, new to my store is the Stimulating O Gel. That one has no tingle to it, super cute packaging, and you apply it directly to the clitoris, or it can be used as a lubricant on the lips and the vaginal opening. Whichever methods, positions, toys, and enhancements you choose to use, I'd love to encourage you to focus on the pleasure and the connection aspect of it. When a body is feeling stressed, it floods with cortisol, which diminishes testosterone, which is your sex hormone. Have fun, get creative, and best of luck on your baby making journey. Our next listener asks, is it normal to like having sex with all the lights off? I'm real insecure. First of all, I get that we all want to feel normal. We don't want to think that we're weird or something is wrong with us. My opinion is there's nothing weird or normal with sex. You like what you like. We have comfort levels. The question is, do you want to be more comfortable in your body to have sex with the lights on? Because if so, we can work with that. And if you never want to have sex with the lights on and your partner is okay having sex with the lights off, I don't see an issue. But you said that you're really insecure, and that's probably why you don't want to have the lights on when you're having sex. Sex is so vulnerable. We're naked. We're making these weird faces and noises, and we might fart or queef or squirt. Sex can be really messy. That's all part of the fun of sex. If you would like to get more comfortable in your body to feel secure enough to have those lights on, it's really going to begin with some body confidence exercises. Things like standing in front of the bathroom mirror in the morning and telling yourself how pretty you are today. Standing in front of a full-length mirror naked, perhaps after a shower. And speaking out loud all of the parts of your body that you love, admire, and appreciate. Maybe even asking your partner, what parts of my body do you like, admire, and appreciate? But look, we're not going to get from lights off to spotlights in one podcast episode. If you want to dip your toe in the water and test this out, light a couple candles in the bedroom and have that very low light and see how that feels to you. That can make the experience more romantic, more seductive, more fun. And if it's a concern with your partner that they really would like the lights on, but you're feeling insecure about them being on, that's a great compromise for the two of you to have. Our next listener writes, "My boyfriend wants me to initiate more and try new things, but I don't know where to start. What about starting with a sensual massage where you can be more intimately connected, relaxed, and feeling good in your body so that you can experience more pleasure?" The way I recommend you do this is to start out lighting some candles, mood lighting, really setting the stage for comfort and connection. Once you've done that, decide who's going to go first, who's going to be the giver and the receiver. The receiver is going to lay down in a comfortable position on their back or stomach and allow the giver to start massaging the body from head to toe. I recommend start out at the scalp, go down to the ears and rub behind the ears, move to the face, the eyebrows, the cheekbones, the lips, and move the hands down to the neck, rubbing the back, the front, and the sides, the arms, the chest. Let's not focus on the genitals or any sexual areas yet. So stay away from the nipples, stay away from the clitoris, penis, vagina. But that full body massage, once you do that, then you move to the sexy areas. So playing with the nipples, fingering the clitoris or stroking the penis, and then oral, and then sex. Another activity to try is to use your favorite vibrator and give your partner a little show. Nobody is a mind reader. Nobody knows what makes you feel good and makes you come. And you have the opportunity where you can be empowered and you can say, watch this, get turned on, and let me show you how I like to orgasm. Invite your partner to play with you and your toy. Another idea is reading romance or smut novels together, taking turns, maybe reading a chapter. And read aloud to each other. You might need to put a bookmark in there and stop because you are going to want to jump on each other and try some of those things out. And lastly, something like my hot date night card game, which I have at my store. Those are sexy suggestions for foreplay, from more vanilla to more kinky, and also some really great communication cards where you can get to know your partner on a deeper level. And that's a wrap on this episode of Sip with Summers, where we laughed, learned, and probably said clitoris more times than your high school health teacher ever did. If you liked what you heard, be a gem and leave a review, share it with your favorite group chat, or send it to that friend who really needs to hear this. You know the one. For more tips, tools, and slightly inappropriate jokes, follow me on social or head to summersoflove.com. Until next time, stay curious, stay turned on, and as always, keep sipping.